Okay. All righty. All righty. Let's get it cracking. Okay. Just waiting for everybody to come in. Let's see. What's up, family? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? Ladies, I know it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. Gentlemen, you are welcome to enter into this chat as well. We're talking about step parenting. Why stepmothers are not stepping up webinar. It's been a long time coming. I've been having a lot of women reach out to me, and I'm sure men, y'all also have been experiencing the troubles of being a stepfather, being a step parent. Anybody who is currently in the situation, I believe this particular content would be of blessing to you. It's particularly for women, but I still feel like men can also learn from this as well, because you might be married to a woman that is struggling connecting with your children, that is struggling connecting with your toxic baby mama. So regardless, I feel anyone could benefit from this. Anybody who is currently in a blended family. But the reason why I've been pretty much touching on this for the women, because a lot of women who have been reaching out to me, and they definitely are fed up with their husband's toxic baby mama. They're fed up, with the stepchildren being unruly, being difficult, and it is very, very challenging to have a healthy marriage if you're not married yet, to have a healthy relationship in which you can have an at least civil relationship with your husband, with your man's toxic baby mama. So if y'all haven't been keeping up, I started my webinar for stepmothers. Men, y'all are welcome as well. You may be in a situation in which your wife and your baby mama's not getting along, so y'all can benefit from it as well. So even if you're a stepfather, you may can benefit from this as well. So I thought it was very imperative that I did this particular content, because I'm very, very passionate. This is one of those type of topics I am very, very passionate about. only because I have gone through this for a long, significant amount of time, and it took me years to find out to formulate strategies and tactics into which my marriage was not affected by the toxic baby mama who was with my husband prior before I got involved with them. So I've had many women in my family who have came to me. I have pretty much become like the toxic baby mama expert. So I'm not just talking the talk. I actually had to walk the walk. So this is not something I'm doing because I heard about it. I actually know about it. I have the experience. I have the knowledge. I have both. So trust when I say I'm not going to lead you astray on this, because the truth of the matter is you're not going to get around meeting a man or a woman who does not have children. It's going to be hard. The older you get, the harder it is going to be to find a man who doesn't already have children, or to find a woman who doesn't already have children. It's going to be very difficult. Now, if you are the type of person you don't want to deal with single moms, you don't want to deal with single dads, I can respect that. This content is to not convince you or to persuade you, but what the purpose of the content is to help those who are already in the situation, or maybe you found a soulmate that you realize you connect with this person. You realize this is a person that you can see yourself compatible with, but the problem is they got a toxic baby mama or a toxic baby daddy, or they have disrespectful children from a previous relationship, and it can be a handful. So what's up to everybody entering the chat? All right, Sicilian Water Sniper, JB. I see y'all in the chat room, and trust and believe, I'm going to be answering y'all questions. This is the purpose why I'm doing my live stream, because it's a lot of people that are going through this. And there's a couple of things I want to point out now. Keep in mind, if y'all haven't already, I already started my Why Stepmoms Won't Step Up webinar. It is on my other channel. It's going to be a 6-part series. So some of y'all have been missing out on some very valuable information. So for all my stepmoms in the building, or for all my ladies in the building, you're in a relationship, you're in a marriage, guys as well. If you're dealing with a toxic baby daddy, because let's face it, you got some baby daddies that's toxic as hell. Nobody wants to talk about that. Everybody wants to only talk about the toxic baby mama. But you also have men who have also encountered the toxic baby daddy. Matter of fact, I was going to upload and do a content on a man who got killed by his by his baby mama's new boyfriend when they was doing a transfer. You know how you go to meet your baby mama, your baby daddy, because y'all exchanging the kid for the weekend. Well, the baby mama and her new boyfriend went to go meet the baby daddy, and I guess he had the daughter, or he was getting the daughter, or either he was returning the daughter, and his baby mama boyfriend killed him, shot him right on the spot in front of his daughter and in front of his daughter's mother. So you also have men that are also going through this as well. It is real. A lot of people out here think shit like this is sweet. It's not always a sweet, pleasant situation. So we're going to get into talking about why the stepmoms won't step up, why it's gotten to a place in which women now have gotten to a point in which they have come to the conclusion, you know what, I want my marriage, but I am not going to take myself through this burden of trying to be a stepmom to these kids, not when the mother is disrespectful to me, not when the mother is teaching the child to disrespect me. So you have a lot of women that have reached a place in which they have decided to still work on their marriage, still continue to be a wife, but that title of being a stepmother, it's a lot of women that are opting out of that because it just comes with a lot of drama. You can't get along with the toxic baby mama. It's a lot of women that are going through this. So we're going to get in. We're going to try to talk. We're going to discuss as much as we can within 30 to 45 minutes. And as I stated, I'm going to be touching on different things, touching in different areas. And I already have a series that I started working on. So This is definitely going to be beneficial to any and everybody that's dealing with baby mama drama or baby daddy drama, but it's more baby mama drama than there is baby daddy drama. So anyway, welcoming everybody to the chat. Now I see Water Sniper. Imagine hearing you are not the father while taking care of children that are not biologically yours. Oh, absolutely. It's a lot of men to this day. There are a lot of men in America that are raising children that don't belong to them. And some of these men do not have a clue. It's a lot of men that are fathering children that they have been deceived into believing is theirs. So you have a lot of that going on. I totally agree with that, Water Sniper. It's a lot of men who have been taken advantage of, who have been pimped, who have been used, who have been deceived, basically because they believed that they was the father of that child. They did not take the precautions to go get a DNA test. You have some men that are so blinded by love, and this isn't the case with every man, but some men, they really don't want to believe that a woman was stooped that low and making him believe a child is his that is not his, but you have women that do that. So I want to start with the basics because, like I said, it's 1,000 scenarios that come with being a step parent. You might have been in a situation in which you and this person connected and they told you they had children from a previous relationship. So against your better judgment, you probably figured, okay, well, they got kids, but it can't be all that bad. Maybe this is something I can deal with. Maybe this is something we can overcome together. So you probably was aware of that other significant other already having children before you got involved, or you could have been in a situation in which you and this person had already been together for a couple of years. Y'all done got serious. Now y'all made a commitment to each other, and out the blue he discovers he has a child or she has a child. So it's all type of different factors that fall into it. First thing is first. This is the first thing I want to say when it comes to becoming a step parent. It's very imperative. The first thing is that it's very imperative that you understand what type of relationship your husband has with his child's mother. It's very imperative that you really know the dynamics, because if the father, if your husband, who is the father of this child, if him and the mother of his child always had a toxic, dysfunctional relationship before you got involved, keep in mind it's not going to change just because you have been added to the equation. This is the harshest reality that a lot of people do not understand when it comes to getting involved with the person who already has a child. And same thing goes for you men. If the woman you are with, if she has always had a volatile, toxic relationship with her baby daddy, it's not going to change just because you are now her husband. The truth of the matter is, if it was already a mess before you got involved, it's going to continue to be a mess. See, and that is the harsh reality that a lot of women do not want to face when it comes to dealing with the man who has children. If him and his baby mama was always drama, they always was always arguing with each other, they always had physical confrontation, that was damage that had already occurred in that relationship way before you got there. So it's very imperative that before you get involved with the man who has children, now keep in mind, their relationship does not have to be perfect, but keep in mind, if you encounter a situation in which the man you are with and the mother of his child, they've always had a volatile relationship, you're not going to change it. It's not going to change just because you are added to the equation. And that's the harsh reality. And I hear a lot of women get frustrated with that. Well, he lets his baby mama does whatever she wants to do. He doesn't put his foot down, like you said, Cicely. If he didn't put his foot down, It's because he programmed it to be that way. That's the reality. I've had several women who have reached out to me, several women that are stepmothers, and all of them, a lot of women have said he will not put his foot down. He will not put her in her place. He would not let her know when she gets out of pocket. In other words, he pretty much let the baby mama just run over him. She pretty much does what she wants to do. And this usually happens for one or two reasons. For one, she's always ran over him. Always. 9 times out of 10, if a woman has always had her way with the man, she's still going to feel like she can have her way, even if he's in a new marriage or in a new relationship. The truth of the matter is, ladies, some of these men, they create their own monsters. And a lot of them are not going to admit that to you. You may find yourself in a situation where you're talking to your husband or your significant other, and you're getting on him about him, allowing his baby mama to do what she wants to do. He's allowing the baby mama to be disrespectful. He's allowing the baby mama to call all the shots. Well, keep in mind, this is not something he just started allowing. He's 9 times out of 10, he's probably been allowing this for years. Just to be quite frank with you. What's up, love you? How you doing? He's probably been allowing this for years. Listen, a controlling ass baby mama, she don't become controlling overnight. She's been controlling. She's been controlling him. For instance, if he was with his baby mama for 5 or 6 years before you got in the picture, before you married him, before y'all got a relationship, she been doing that the duration throughout that relationship. That's why she is so comfortable disrespecting him, even though he's married, even though he's in a new relationship. A toxic baby mama don't become a toxic baby mama overnight. So if there's an issue with the baby, with your significant other, with him allowing his baby mother to be disrespectful, he's not putting his foot down, it's because he allowed this monster to keep manifesting. In other words, he has never put his foot down, even way before you got involved in the picture. It's been that way. So that's one factor. He created this monster by allowing her to pretty much run the show when it comes to the children, or for reason number 2. In many instances, you have a lot of guys that you have some men, I won't say all, because you have some men, they will not allow their toxic baby mama to run their household or to run their current relationships. But for those that do, the second reason is a lot of men, some men fear putting their foot down because they are afraid that if they put their foot down too much, too hard, that she's going to take the kids away from him, or she's going to make it hard for him to be able to see his children. Because let's just face it, when a woman knows she no longer has control over a man, when a woman knows she no longer has the same privilege to run him or regulate him and tell him what to do, the only weapon she has is the child. And that is what she's going to use to her advantage. That is what she's going to use to her leverage. Whenever a woman feels like she no longer has control, whenever a woman feels like she no longer has any say-so, the only power, the only weapon she knows she can utilize to her advantage is the child. And the truth be told, it's mostly a lot of weak women who do this. It's weak-minded women who feel so defeated to the point to where they feel like the only thing they can use is their child to get a point across. And it's unfortunate, but this is what I like to call a power struggle. A power struggle. Since I cannot get him to do what I want him to do, since I cannot get him to kiss my ass, since I cannot get him to do things my way like I want him to do it, well, I'm just going to use the child. I'm going to use the child as leverage to get him to do what I want him to do. And it's unfortunate. You have a lot of men that are willing to be disrespected just so that they can have a relationship with their child. Now, I'm not saying all men have this issue, because you have some men that are like this. Look, I want to have a relationship with my child, but if it takes me being disrespected, if it takes me allowing you to disrespect my wife, allowing you to disrespect my house in order for me to have a relationship with my child, then guess what? I love my child, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sacrifice making my household miserable, making my wife unhappy, just so I can please you in order to have a relationship with my child. Because the truth is, you can always tell a woman's priority. If it's really about the child, the baby mama is going to put her differences aside, and she's going to do whatever it takes to allow that man to have a civil relationship with his child. Now, if she's bitter, if she's hostile, or she has some resentment, then she's not going to focus on what's for the best interest of the child. She's going to focus on what is the best interest for her. So you can always tell, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. You can always tell when a woman is more concerned about her child or when she's more concerned about herself. It doesn't make it difficult to see that. And if it's all about her, no matter how compliant the father is, no matter how much the father tries to cooperate, no matter how much the father tries to be an active parent, if it's all about her, she's going to make it difficult for him anyway. And I've always given this slogan, and this is what a lot of stepmothers have to understand, and this is also something a lot of men have to understand when it comes to dealing with toxic baby mama. You cannot be big. You cannot be the bigger person with a bitter person. That's just the bottom line. You cannot be, I'm going to repeat that again in case somebody in fact didn't catch it. You cannot be the bigger person when you're dealing with the bitter person. In other words, no matter how much you try to aim high, no matter how much you try to be the communicator, no matter how much you try to participate, how much you try to keep the peace, if you're dealing with a baby mama that is toxic, that is bitter, if her life is not in order, if she's not happy with her current situation, if she's not happy with herself, it does not matter what you do. She's going to try to make it difficult just because she's miserable. You have some women that are mothers, and because they're angry and bitter with the decisions that they have made, it does not matter how much you try to work with her, how much you try to cooperate with her. You cannot cooperate, you cannot work, you cannot function with a bitter person. I don't care what anybody says. If you're dealing with the bitter baby mama, your efforts, your good efforts, all of it is being done in vain. I'ma just be frank with you. You cannot change the heart of a bitter, toxic individual. If she's angry, something, but the truth be told, some baby mamas, these toxic baby mamas, they are comfortable with being angry, because for some of these women, anger gives them a sense of empowerment. So they feel like as long as they are angry, as long as they are vengeful, and they're in the psyche of their toxic mind, because you have to look at this from a toxic person's perspective. You cannot look at this from a reasonable person perspective. If you try to look at this from a reasonable person perspective, you're going to be lost in the sauce. You got to look at the psyche of a toxic individual. The toxic individual, her being angry makes her feel like she has power. And she's not understanding, it's making things complicated. It's causing a rift between her children having a successful, healthy relationship with their father. She's not even focusing on the children. She's focusing on her anger. She's focusing on her bitterness. And guess what? The kids become the sacrificial lamb. And that is just that comes with the territory when it comes to dealing with toxic baby mama. Her children are always going to be that sacrificial lamb. She's not going to make decisions that are in the best interest of the child. She's going to make decisions that are in the best interest of her bitterness. What's up, King Bob? Blessings to you. So keep in mind, you cannot be the bigger person with the bitter person. If you remember that slogan, every time you deal with the toxic baby mama, you will find more relief, because the truth is, if a person is already angry and already resentful, it does not matter if you sit down and try to have a civil 101. It does not matter if you come up with great ideas that could be fair, but where everybody could benefit from. If she's already angry and toxic person, you're wasting your time. And I need you men and I need you husbands to get that. Because a lot of you husbands, let me speak to you husbands. Husbands, boyfriends with bitter baby mamas. Because a lot of you are accepting a lot of disrespect. You're accepting her doing what she wants to do, even if it means challenging your manhood, even if it means disrespecting your wife, disrespecting your mother. A lot of you men are taking a lot of disrespect just so you can stay in the good graces of your baby mama. And if you are doing that, I'm letting you know right now that you're not going to have a happy home. What's up, Angela? You're not going to have a happy home. You should not never compromise. And I understand you love your children. I understand, if you rub this woman the wrong way, that she can make your life a living hell. What's up, Dion? But keep in mind, as a man, if you don't put your foot down, she's going to make your life a living hell anyway. How many times are you going to keep bending over backwards just so you can have a relationship with your kids? When is there a line? As a man, you have to draw a line. Even when it comes to your own children, you cannot allow your baby mama to disrespect your wife, to try to regulate your life, just so you can be in her good graces and have a relationship with your children. Because some of these women are so evil and vindictive that when she can get you to bend on one thing, she gonna have your ass bending in several other things. So as a man, never think that eventually you're going to win your toxic baby mama over. It's not going to happen. You cannot win the toxic baby mama over. You buy her a Lamborghini, she gonna want a Porsche. You agree to get the kids every other weekend to make her happy. Now she's up in the notch. Now she wants you to get them every weekend. She don't care that you and your wife, y'all got a life of y'all own, that y'all got things y'all have to do. Stop allowing these bitter baby mamas to run the show just because you so afraid she gonna take your kids away from y'all. 9 times out of 10, these toxic baby mamas, they try to act strong. They try to act hell-bent. They try to act like they don't need you. But when you stop playing into the game of the toxic baby mama, that is when you end up getting more respect. All the ass kissing, all the trying to stay on her good side. What did I tell y'all before? And I'm going to keep saying the slogan till I'm going to beat y'all. I'm going to beat it in y'all head like a drum. You cannot be the bigger person with the bitter person. And I'm going to keep stressing that until y'all get it, especially you men, because you have to understand, women know women. So if your wife or if your mother or if your sister is telling you something about your baby mama, you don't have to take it all in wholeheartedly. But when people tell you something, because let's face it, some people do lie now. You do have some women out here who just like to lie on your baby mama. But what I'm saying is, when your wife, somebody you know got your back, somebody you know who got your best interest, if your wife is peeping something about your baby mama, and you know your wife has good intentions. She's not trying to control you. She's not trying to manipulate you. Because let's face it, you do have some manipulative wives now. But I'm saying, if you know you got a good woman with a good heart, and she's trying to tell you the scheming and the plots that your baby mama is doing, learn to take that in. What's up, Red Mike? Learn to take that in and understand, okay, even if it don't register to you, when a woman calls out another woman's BS, you don't have to like throw it up on her face. You don't have to tell the baby mama, well, my wife told me how you is, or my wife said you this kind of woman. When your wife gives you information and she sees that your baby mama is doing some foul, low-key, shady stuff, just take it in and put it in your memory file. So when she starts doing certain things, it'll register to you. You know what? My wife told me, or my fiance told me this how she moved. So as a man, you have to trust that your wife, when she tells you certain things about your baby mama, it's not because she's trying to always intervene. She's trying to cause division with you having a relationship with your children. But as women, we can tell when other women are being vindictive, and you have to be able to trust your companion when they tell you things like this. King Boss says, coochie coupons are not worth the drama. Too many out there. 7+ billion and over half female making a deal with it. Makes sense. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree, King Boss. So, with men not putting their foot down, realize if you don't put your foot down, it's only going to get worse. And so one thing, once a bitter baby mama, once she has caught on to your weaknesses, which is 9 times out of 10, the fact that you love your children, she's going to run you raggedy with that. She's like, I cannot tell you. You have a lot of men in America that's miserable today because they have been trying to do everything to please the baby mama so they can have a relationship with their child. First of all, let me tell you men something. You shouldn't have to beg a woman to allow you to be there for her child. I'm going to stress, let me say that again, because I notice a lot of men are doing it. And I'm not saying this is the case with every man. If it doesn't apply, you don't have to reply. But I'm starting to notice it's too many of you men, y'all are begging to have a relationship with your own children. That's not a good look. No man should ever have to beg his baby mama about seeing his children. So if you are in a situation in which you have to beg her, this is already a red flag that she's trying to make your life miserable. And you're going to have to start snatching some of that power back. Because while you up here pouring out your heart, pouring out your tears as to why you want to see your son, you're pouring out your heart, pouring out your tears as to why you want to see your daughter, you pouring out your heart. Meanwhile, this vindictive witch, she's getting off. She's actually climaxing. She's having an orgasm off of seeing you miserable. The bitter baby mama, she has an orgasm every time she sees that you're pleading with her, you're begging her, you're crying out to her, you're running behind her to have a relationship with your own children. Where is your ball? Anytime you got to run behind your baby mama to see your kids, you have already lost your masculinity. When you have to pay her rent or do extra favors for her to see your kids, you have already lost your balls. Poetic, what's up, sissy? I'm going to email you soon because I want us to do a live stream. See if me and you and Rubes can get up again. I got your number, so you know I'm going to hit you up anyway. I've witnessed multiple men get disrespected just so they can have a relationship with their kids. I've seen men have to bargain with the baby mama. Well, I'll pay your rent. Well, I would let you see JoJo. I would let you see Kiki, but my rent behind. Yeah, a lot of y'all don't want to believe it, but it's been men who done paid their baby mama rent just so they can see their kids. I remember this one guy, just so he can see his child, her lights was off at her house. Her lights was off. At that point in time, it's not like that now because of technology, but you can manually turn the lights back on. He actually climbed up the pole to turn her lights on for her. And keep in mind, she had another man staying with her. A lot of men, y'all are tolerating disrespect from your baby mama. And you're doing extra things outside the child support court order. You're doing extra favors. You're doing extra things that you're not obligated to do. Also, all just because you want to have a relationship with your child. So, this is one of the things that are frustrating a lot of women. Again, if you're a woman who doesn't plan on being with the man who has children, then this content is not for you. If you're if you're one of those women that are dead set against being with a man who has children, this content is not for you. But if you are in a situation, if you are in a relationship with a person, what's up, Jay Shine? What's up, bro? If you are in a relationship with somebody, these are that has children, this is something you might want to think about. Things that you may need to consider. So, this is the reason why you have a lot of women that are stepping down from being stepmothers because they cannot deal with the fact that that their husband or their significant other acts weak when it comes to his baby mama. And some of you guys, y'all act weak when it comes to y'all baby mamas. Y'all let them tell y'all what to do. You let the baby mama run your house. You let the baby mama give you and your wife rules with your own damn kids. Now, you got some of these baby mamas that are so petty. They're just petty for no reason. And it's all about just being spiteful. It's all about being spiteful. You have a lot of these women that are very just spiteful. Especially if she sees that you and your wife are in a good place. If she sees you are in a good place, she sees that you're successful. If the bitter baby mama sees that you are successful, she sees that you are happy. You know, you got a new family, you got a new chapter. And especially if she don't have anybody, what makes you think the bitter baby mama is going to cooperate with you when she's not happy in her life, when she's not happy within herself? I said it before. You cannot be the bigger person for the bitter person. You can't. You cannot. So while you're over here as a man, you're trying to reason with your toxic baby mama. You're trying to reason with her. You're trying to get along with her. No matter how much you try to talk to her like she's a grown woman, you're trying to be a respectful man. You're trying to reason with her. You're trying to see eye to eye. This bitch want to act like a rock roller every time you try to talk to her. She's growling. I ain't trying to do all that right there. I ain't trying to, that's my child. And I feel like I gotta say so. Every time you go talk to this broad, she got to act like a raging pit bull. So that's one of the biggest problems is that as a man, you should never compromise your respect to have a relationship with your child. If you're in a situation where the baby mama talking to you all kind of way, talking to your wife all kind of way, talking to your mom all kind of way, she doing all kind of disrespectful stuff, this is the time where you're going to have to up the ante, which means that if she thinks she's a bad bitch and she could do it all by herself, then you're going to have to pull the plug and let her do it by herself. Now, I've said this before, and I had a lot of women get upset with me. I did content years ago talking about this, and I had a lot of women get mad with me, especially the bitter baby mamas. They was all in my comment. They was all up in my comment. They felt some type of way when I made that comment, and I'm gonna say it again. I don't care who feels some type of way. And I'm gonna keep saying it. If the baby mama, if she's so bad that she can disrespect you and disrespect your wife, if she that bad, if she's such a badass, Billy badass, then let her be Billy badass to do it at home. Now, I've had guys ask me when I gave them that advice, that's my child though. I want a relationship with my son. I want a relationship with my daughter. Why would you tell me? I know this is the question people are going to ask. Why would you tell a man to leave his child alone? Why would you tell a man that he needs to walk away from being a father to his child? Now, I know it's going to be people that's going to challenge me and ask this question. I know it's somebody already in the comment section, they feeling some type of way, especially if they a bitter baby mama. Mocha, why would you do that? Why would you tell these men that it is okay for them to walk away from their baby mama? Well, let me break it down to you. What's up, number one grinder? And I forgot all about our chat this evening. So if you want to reschedule or do one this evening, we can. I had to handle some business earlier today. I forgot about your 3:00 live stream that you told me about. I completely forgot. So if you want to reschedule another one, number one grinder, I'm available this evening, or we can do one tomorrow. But I totally forgot, my bad. But so you can email me or hit me up if you want me to join your next live. I don't have a problem doing that. So a lot of women felt some type of way. And the reason why I am telling men, I'm telling y'all, I don't care who get mad. If your baby mama is constantly disrespecting you and treating you like garbage, and you trying to be a good dude, you trying to be the active parent, and she's disrespecting you, as hard as it is, you're going to have to walk away. Because sometimes, in order for people to appreciate your presence, they have to first experience your absence. What's up, Link 111? As hard as it is, it's sad, but in some cases, you got to walk away from your own child to find peace. Now, I'm not saying this is a solution just because you don't want to be a responsible father. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, still take care of the child, still financially do your duties, but all of that, running her down, begging her, pleading with her so you can be a part of your child's life, you need to stop doing that. Stop doing it. When she sees you're no longer begging her and chasing her and running her down, it's going to give her a harsh wake-up call. You have to understand, some women are like children. And I'm not saying this is the case with all women, because we got some grown women who handle their business and they don't be about that drama. But when you're dealing with these grown women that got a little girl mentality where you got to beg her and run her down to let you be a part of your child's life, You have to do the unexpected. Just like a parent who has allowed a child to get away with murder, now you got the untamed, that wild child you done created. That is the same thing. When you have allowed your baby mama to get away with disrespecting you for a long, significant amount of time, and you have trained her, you have programmed your bitter baby mama to disrespect you. You have programmed her to talk to you like garbage. You have programmed her to talk to you like a little boy instead of talking to you like a man, because you have created this monster. Gentlemen, you have to untame the monster that you created. You have to untame, meaning, first, simple rule: stop kissing the baby mama's ass just so you can be a part of the child. It's too many men. A lot of y'all are doing way too much butt kissing just so you can see your own child. It has gotten far out of hand. How much butt kissing you gonna do just so you can spend time with your own son, with your own daughter? You done created this monster. So now you're gonna have to change the game. If you've always been running behind her, now you have to stop running behind her. You know what it's going to do? It's going to put her in a culture shock, because that's what she's used to you doing. So once you stop doing that, it's going to wake up a different nerve. Like, what? He running me down? I'm used to him running me down to see little JJ. He ain't called me in a month. I ain't hear from him in 2 months. But you know what the baby mama's going to do? She's still not. Now, keep in mind, when you're dealing with the toxic baby mama and you decide to walk away just for a moment, because like I said, this is not permanent. This is called damage control. In other words, you got to change. You got to conquer this monster you done created. So this method is not a permanent method. It's not supposed to be you walk out the child's life and act like the child is dead. But what I'm saying, until that child is out her household and old enough to where you can have your own relationship with your son or your daughter without the mother intervening, this is something you're going to have to do. Now, like for instance, you got men like Jay Shine. He has custody of his daughter. So he's one of the fortunate few where he don't have to go through all of that. He has already, he's in a position in which the mother of his daughter, she cannot intervene. So you have some men that are very fortunate in this situation where they don't have to go through that. But for you men who do not have full custody of your children, you're going to have to untame the monster. No, the monster was created for Mama Nine when she was very young, of men up in her mom's house thinking this is normal. These men were Pookie and Tyronesium. For sure, Link. But this is the truth. I see a lot of men who take disrespect because they don't want to piss the baby mama off. So they let the baby mama disrespect them. They let the baby mama disrespect the wife. And what you're going to do is you're going to have to pull the plug and do something unexpected, because she done got used to having her way with you. A lot of you men aren't understanding, but in many cases, y'all have gotten these women used to having their way with you. Okay? Especially you first-time fathers. First-time fathers are the worst. They let their baby mamas pimp the hell out of them. These first-time fathers, am I right, King Bob? The first time, men who have become fathers for the first time, they're the ones that seem to get dragged the most. Because it's like this their first time having a child, is new to them. And they, out of all people, they have a child from this vindictive ass broad. And because he's never been a father before and he's not used to a woman controlling him with a child. First time fathers get pimped the most. I done seen it. Till they catch on to the game. Till they find out that the baby mama is manipulating them and being vindictive. First time dads, they go through it the worst. Nevertheless, until she learns to respect you, until she learns to respect your house, until she learns to respect your marriage, you're going to have to flip the script and let her run after you. And the only way she's going to do that is if she sees you're not running behind her, you're not trying to kiss her ass, you're not begging and crying, why I can't see my son, why I can't see my daughter. And again, a lot of these vindictive women, they get a kick out of watching and making their baby daddy squirm to be with their own children. Exactly. King says they will have you jumping through a hoop for the minimum. And I've seen baby mamas do it all the time. I've seen some cases in which some of these baby mamas, they know they're struggling taking care of these kids. They know they don't have the income. They don't have the finances. What's up, Jeremy? Good to see you, Jeremy. Long time. Some of these bitter baby mamas, they know they're in a struggle. They know some of them know they're still staying with their mama. Or some of them moved from apartment to apartment. Some of them got to stay with their girlfriends, got to stay with people, dragging your kids from place to place, knowing you are more stable, knowing the child would be better off in your hands. But instead, because they want to be bitter and vindictive, they would rather let the child suffer with them and go and live in the instability like them than to let the father, who's more stable, who's in a better place, they would rather, you have some women that's just that vindictive. They would rather let their child live in the streets and suffer and struggle with them before they let the child go be with the father who is in a better situation. And what's up, Charles Newland? Welcome to the chat. A lot of men have been asking this question for centuries. Why don't these ladies just let the dad I can't read, y'all. Why don't these ladies just let the dad take the kid full custody? They don't talk to rocket scientists. First of all, a lot of these women are surviving off of their kids. While the rest of us grown folks are surviving off of paychecks, while the rest of us responsible adults are surviving off of jobs, while the rest of us responsible adults have employment or are starting businesses, the toxic, the dysfunctional baby mama, the ones that are in the struggle, they are simply surviving off of their kids. Their kids are their meal ticket. Their kids is how they get housing. That's how their kids are the reasons they got a place to stay. Their kids are the reason they're getting food on their table. That's how come they can get EPT, WIC, and all these things. Their kids are the reason they can get Section 8 vouchers. Their kids are the reasons they can qualify to get low income benefits, low income housing. In other words, most women are not going to give the fathers of their children custody because their kids is their survival. Their kids is their lifeline. If they give their children to the father, which it does make sense, but if they do give their kids to the father, even though the father is more stable, even though the father has a stable home, even though the father has stable income, that means she's going to have to go out there and work and provide for herself. What's the chances of them going to do that? We know they're not going to do that, especially when you're dealing with the hood boogers. Now, I'm not talking about the mothers that are trying, the mothers that are providing, the mothers that are working their asses off, and the mothers that are being real mothers. I'm talking about the hood boogers, the ones who don't work, the ones who refuse to get a job. All they do is use their wombs for profit to make a living. But guess what? We got to play devil's advocate. It's a lot of these guys going around here smashing, raw dogging these hood booger females. These hood boogers, they're not getting pregnant by themselves. Somebody smashing. Came by says when my older got of age, I brought her a contract phone and paid the bill so we could communicate without her mom. Also had her bank account that her mom had no right to. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is the proper way of doing it. The truth is, a lot of men are not going to understand. They're not really going to have a positive relationship with their child until that child really gets old enough to get from up under the spell of their mother. And some of them, they was constantly stay up under their mother's spell. I mean, look at 50 Cent oldest son. 50 Cent, the rapper 50 Cent, his oldest son, his mama still got control over him to this day. So some of these children, they're going to always allow their mothers, regardless of how toxic and dysfunctional she is, they're going to always allow their mothers to poison them and tell them what to do. So so that's just something you got to be prepared for. Yeah, hood chick go from job to job. Where Jeremy, at least that hood chick go from job to job. I know a few of them who don't go to no job. Exactly. What's up, Ishmael? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, but this is again, that's why you have a lot of stepmoms who refuse to step up, because it's so much that the father allows the baby mama to get away with. And you men, y'all have to realize there's a common ground. You do want to get along. There's nothing with trying to get along with the mother of your child, so you got a relationship with your child. But when the mother of that child is causing chaos, is causing confusion, she's trying to run your marriage by telling you what you can and can't do when it comes to your child, simple things. She feel like because y'all have a child together, she could just come to your house unannounced, not having respect for your wife, feeling like she could drop the child off anytime she wants, not have to make sure you and your wife have plans. Some of y'all baby mamas are so vindictive. They don't even have the respect to even speak to your wife. They don't even speak to your significant other. And if you are allowing that kind of if you're allowing your baby mama to get away with that type of disrespect, that's shame on you. Because this is the other part about co-parenting. It's very imperative that you and your wife, you and your husband, y'all have to be on the same accord. You have to be on the same accord. A lot of marriages, y'all are allowing the baby mama or the baby daddy to do what they want to do. As a husband, even if you have children outside of your marriage, you cannot allow your baby mama to do what she wants to do and not make sure your wife, you have to first and foremost, make sure your spouse, your wife, make sure that she's on board. Y'all have to be on the same page. If these baby mamas feel, if they see there's a rift in your marriage, or they see that y'all are not on the same page, these baby mamas are going to use it to their advantage. For instance, if your wife told you, okay, this weekend, I'm going out with the girls, we're going to have a little girls' weekend, and you have already agreed, y'all have agreed to that. The baby mama, she decides to call out the blue and says she has something she got to do this weekend. She needs you to get the kids. And you abruptly have the kids to come over without checking with your wife after y'all done already made agreements. See, stuff like that, allowing the baby mamas, allowing her wants to be more important than your wife and vice versa, that's a problem. You cannot allow these women to use these kids as a way of them having their way. And it's a lot of men who have Charles. This is why you have a lot of stepmoms that aren't stepping up. And that's why I've been doing a seminar on this, because I have had multiple women come to me and say that my husband, he does not have a backbone. What's up, Caramel, baby? And like I said, the truth is, it's going to be harder and harder to find people who don't have children. Like I said, if you're somebody that's dead set against getting involved with anybody with children, then I can respect that. This content is not for you if you're not in that situation. But if you're a woman that's a stepmother, or if you're a man that's a stepfather, then this content may be beneficial for you. But if you're not in that situation, if you're not dealing with baby mama or baby daddy drama, if you're not in a blended family, then this message may not be worth you even listening to. And I get it. And I could totally respect that. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of people do not deal with people who have children, because there is a lot that comes with it. But what I am saying is, to a lot of you married people out here, to women that are married to men with children and vice versa, it does not have to be messy if y'all don't allow it. If both of y'all are on the same accord, if both of y'all are on the same team, the baby mama will never have the room to infiltrate in y'all household and y'all marriage. Y'all got to be on the same team. You can't agree to one thing, but as soon as the baby mama gets you by herself, she's able to break you down, manipulate you, get you to change your mind, and now you're going against what you and your wife have agreed upon. And same thing, there's a lot of men that are taking care of there are a lot of men that are taking care of women who got kids from previous relationships. And guess what? You have men, they're not going to deal with women who got kids. And I can respect that as well, because it is a lot. So like I said, if you're not in that situation, then this content is not for you. But at the same time, you don't have to discourage other people who are in a situation. And that's the problem with the Black community. Just because we have decided we're not going to deal with something, let me tell y'all something. I'm going to have a quick talk. This is the problem with the Black community. We always think we are better and more superior than others because we have made the decision to not deal or not involve ourselves in certain situations. That's the problem with the Black community. We have to put other people down who have the tenacity or have the tolerance to deal with things that we don't deal with. So therefore, we want to knock what other people do. Whatever you choose to do is whatever you choose to do to make your life happy. You have to do what's best for you. At the end of the day, I do what's best for me, but I don't knock other people who choose to do the opposite. If you team no kids, then you team no kids. If you're a team kids, you team kids. I get it. But just for that, that's the problem with the Black community. Just because you choose not to live your life that way, you don't have to knock or put somebody else down, because guess what? There's things in your life that you deal with that other people might not deal with. So go both ways, because none of us in here are perfect, and we all got skeletons. We all got issues. Even though you have a lot of content creators who come on here and try to act like they don't have issues, and they got all the answers for everybody else's household, and they're so perfect, they got the room to be around here scolding people and knocking people who have made decisions that they probably have to live with, and vice versa. You have the right to not want certain things. No different than you might have some guys around here who don't want to date black women. You got guys who say, I'm not into black women. I will never date black women. I'm only going to date women outside my race. Guess what? That's fine with me, but you don't have to disrespect black women just because you have made the ultimate decision that you're going to date women outside your race. Same thing. Just because a black woman has given up on dealing with black men, she only wants to date white men. That's fine. But you don't have to knock all the other black men just because you have a preference. That is the problem with the black community. We think our preference makes us more superior, and it doesn't. Because you can get to the other side and find out, hell, the other side ain't all that either. So like I said, I'm not trying to convince nobody to be with somebody who got kids. I'm not trying to make women or persuade men to be step parents. This content is for people that are already in this situation, who want the help, who want the guidance, who want the advice. If that's not you and you're not willing to deal with it, then that is your choice. But you don't have to come in here chopping heads off just because that's what you chose not to do. So, anywho, as I was saying, if again, in case y'all just coming in, if you are in a situation in which you're dealing with blended families, you're a woman involved with a man who has children. You're a man involved with a woman who has children. If the baby mama or the baby daddy is toxic, they're trying to bring havoc to your marriage, to your household, it's important that you both be on the same accord. She does not get to decide what she can and can't do, not unless you both are on the same accord. Exactly. Bad or messed up people come in all genders and races. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, so the next thing is this. It's very imperative that you both have to set boundaries. As a husband and a wife, you have to set boundaries. It's very important. If y'all don't set boundaries, the bitter baby mama, that gives her room to infiltrate and create problems. You have to set boundaries. Other words, she cannot just bring the kids unannounced. You both have to agree as to when she can bring the kids over, as to when she can make plans for y'all to get to the kids. There is no, well, I have your kids, I can bring them over anytime I want. No, it does not work like that. Or she can call unexpectedly and ask for extra things, especially if it's something that's going to cost a substantial amount of money. It's very important that you and your wife, y'all are on the same page, because women are so vindictive. Anytime they feel they can get empathy from their baby daddy, they can cry on your shoulder and say, well, they about to put me and the kids out the house. We ain't gonna have nowhere to go. Before you offer to give her $500 or $600 for her rent, you need to offer and say, hey, let me check with my wife. Let me make sure if that's the case, then the kids may need to be with us for a couple of days until you find some place to stay. Because what a lot of you men are not understanding is your job is to take care of the kids, not to take care of the baby mama and the kids. They're not a package deal. The kids belong to you. She does not. Because you have a lot of toxic baby mamas. They think like that. They think whatever you do for the kids, you're supposed to do for them. Again, if you're not in this situation or whatever, you can't relate. But this is why a lot of people choose not to get involved in this situation, because it's a lot that comes along with it. And that's why I am speaking on this, because you may be somebody that's involved in the situation and you may not really be aware of all the stuff that comes with it. So this is to try to help people out before they get involved with people who got children, or maybe you are already involved and you are just lost and you're trying to figure out a way. Get proof of any situation presented to you. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. A lot of these baby mamas, they are a lot of these toxic baby mamas, they hustlers. They are straight hustlers. They hustlers. They will sit up here and lie and say the kids need stuff that they don't need. Some of these baby mamas will lie and ask for extra money and say they need money for this, money for that, and they're not putting out money. Unless it's through child support, then you can't do shit about it. Child support, unfortunately, child support does not monitor these females' money. They don't. Child support does not have a program in which they can see what these women are doing with the money. So the truth is, you may be very well handling your business, paying your child support, and your kids still come around looking like they're from a third world country. Your kids still come around looking like, they came from the Salvation Army shelter. Let's face it, every woman that's a baby mama is not a mother. Just because the state is allowing the mother to obtain funds once a month, it does not mean she's doing the right thing. We know that. And guess what? It's really not it's for one, you can't do nothing about it. And for two, it's really not your problem. I've heard men say, well, I gave her $500. My kids, they shoes still talking to them. They're coming around with dirty shoestrings and this, and that, blah, blah, blah. But she bought herself a new, a 2018 Toyota Camry with 300,000 miles on it, but it got $500 worth of rims. It's men that see these baby moms are spending money foolishly. And guess what, guys? You can't do a goddamn thing about it. But if she comes to you, talk about JJ needs shoes, Kiki need a hair done. Now, that's the time you're supposed to check her. Now, at that, especially one thing about it, as a man, if you are paying child support, you got every right to check her about what she do with her money. Now, you're going to have females that's going to say, well, you have women who think like this. They feel like they are entitled to child support, and whatever they want to do with it, they feel like you don't have the right to say shit about it. You don't have the right to do shit about it. And in truth, reality, you don't have the right to do anything, but that still doesn't mean you don't have the right to say anything about it. Nothing wrong with calling out. Oh, I know you're not handling the money correctly. I know you're not doing all of what you're supposed to do, but guess what? Eventually, it's all going to catch up. Yeah, I'm back, y'all. I don't know if y'all having issues with Verizon. I don't know who in here is a Verizon customer, but everybody who has Verizon, our phones is out in Georgia. I don't know if any of y'all having the same issue, but Verizon has a whole outage. Anybody who has Verizon, they haven't been able to make any calls. So I don't know if anybody in the chat room has been having that issue or if it's just in my area, but a lot of people pissed off. I'm telling you, Verizon done messed up something. Ain't nobody been able to call each other. It's just real crazy. So anyway, but yeah, back to what I was saying about this step parenting thing. Again, I am doing a webinar on my other channel, Mocha's Ladies Lounge, for people for women, who are struggling being stepmothers, because the truth is, it's not only difficult with trying to get along with the bitter baby mama, but now it's gotten to the point where you have a lot of women, they're also not getting along with the children, because a lot of these children, they're being raised by these same toxic baby mamas. A lot of these kids are adopting their ignorance from their toxic mama. A lot of these kids are adopting disrespect from their toxic mama. So it's going to be difficult having to deal with the toxic baby mama, and you think the kids are not going to be toxic, just like the baby mama. Some baby mama leave kids at the doorstep and leave automatically. Yep, you got them kind that's very ignorant at doing that. And when she does, guess what? That'll be the time to call the police and let them know abandonment. And even though the police are not going to do anything because it is your children, but you can get the kids to write. You can get the police to at least do a report, because see, that's going to be the advantage. So in cases like this, when you get any type of situations, you have to start building paperwork. You got to build paperwork, a paper trail, because let's face it, the system is not going to do anything to these baby mamas. They're not. They're not going to do anything to these toxic baby mamas unless you can prove that they are unfit. Other than that, they're not going to do nothing to them. They're not. So what you have to start doing is paper trailing. Any evidence, and King Boss said it earlier, any evidence you get, you have to start taking pictures. You have to start doing police reports. And I know it's sickening and nobody likes to deal with the police, but at the same time, you're building your evidence. You're building your case. Your mouthpiece is not going to help you. You have to have documentation. If it's not in black and white, as far as child support is concerned, it didn't happen. You get up there and bitch to the judge all day. She dropped my kids off and leave them. She dropped my kids off dirty, dingy. They don't have no clothes. Every time she dropped those kids off in the yard unannounced, get documentation. Every time she drops them off negligent, with no clothes, no nothing, take pictures of that. You have to start paper trailing, because at the end of the day, the system is more in favor of these women. They're not in favor of the men. So as a man, you got to work a little harder to prove your case. You got to take pictures. You have to get documents. You have to, start, building your case. You got the paper trail. And that's just the God's honest truth. So anyway, I'm going to be doing more series on this, because I know it's a lot of people that are struggling with co-parenting, step parenting. The whole point of the matter is, you cannot change her. You cannot change the bitter baby mama. You cannot change her. That is a waste of time. That's the waste of energy. But what you can do, you can change how you deal with her. And that's the same thing being a stepmother. It's not your job to make your husband change his baby mama. It's not your job to try to get the kids to like you and all this and that. What y'all have to do is come up with a plan in which both of y'all can deal with this outside situation peacefully. And people are doing it. I know people who've been married every bit of 25, 30 years with stepkids, and they don't have all this drama. They don't have, because the baby mama knows her place. Sometimes in many cases, you got to be consistent. You have to put your foot down by being consistent. If you're being disrespected just so you can see your child and have a connection with your child, this is the time where you got to pull the plug. You have to stop answering phone calls. You have to stop allowing her to bust up your house unannounced. You're going to have to start setting some boundaries. You don't set any boundaries, it's going to bring problems to your household. It's going to bring problems to your marriage. It's just going to bring a lot of unnecessary drama if y'all are not on the same key. Now, if both y'all are on the same key, she's going to have a hard time causing chaos and strife in your household. But if y'all are not on the same key, y'all not on the same page, y'all don't give her any boundaries, y'all don't draw a line, then it's going to continue to get more and more out of control, in which it's going to cause problems in your household. So anyway, I'm going to be discussing more of this on my other channel, Mocha's Ladies Lounge. So to all my step parents, to all my stepmothers, that's where I'm going to be conducting most of my series. That is where I'm going to be doing most of it. So I just think the other channel is better for me to do these type of topics on, because it's more female friendly. This channel over here, I really just try to do most of my co-ed topics. But for this specific topic in general, I'm going to be doing it more so at my other channel, Mocha's Ladies Lounge. So I'm going to put it in my link right here. That's my Mocha's Ladies Lounge channel. I'm going to be doing like a six content series. Is going to be like 6 different parts broken up, into which I'm going to be talking about why stepmothers won't step up. I'm going to be talking about different categories, how first, you and your husband got to be on the same accord. I'm going to be talking about how to deal with the unruly stepchild. I'm going to be also discussing how you as the woman can individually deal with the toxic baby mama. I'm going to break it all up into different parts and different components. That way you're learning more than one thing when it's come to dealing with this type of issue. I don't want to put all of this into one content because it's a lot. It's too much. And sometimes when you put too much content into one video, a lot of your points get overlooked. People have a short attention span. So you cannot put everything into one content. The game is rigged. You absolutely right, King Bob. The game is rigged. Play at your own risk. Everybody's not built to be a step parent. Everybody's not built to deal with other people's children. I realize the older I have gotten, I really don't have the patience to deal with other people's children. I really, really don't. My grandkids was over here yesterday, and I'm like, it was it was interesting. I said, oh, no. The older I get, I realize I just don't have the tolerance for little kids anymore. And these little kids, they're so different from what we were coming up. These little kids, they so mouthy. They talk back. And the crazy part is what I'm noticing with kids today, they get choices. Back in my day, we didn't get a choice. You didn't tell your mama or your daddy what you didn't want to eat, what you didn't want to drink. Back in my day, we didn't have no choices. Whatever we were told to eat and drink, we had to do. These kids are being raised with choices now. So when they come to your house, they think you're supposed to apply the same principle. They think you're supposed to give them a choice. When back in our day, ain't been no choice. You either eat or you hungry. You either drink what we tell you to drink or you thirsty. These kids up here telling you what they not going to drink, what they not going to eat. King Ba, you are right. Mine is 20. And I realize I'm old. I do not have the patience. I'm 42. I cannot go backwards and deal with little kids. These pandemic babies, these little babies, they are off the chain. I definitely cannot do it anymore. So anyway, I definitely want to thank y'all for hanging out in the chat. Make sure y'all subscribe to Mocha's Ladies Lounge channel if y'all hadn't. I'm going to be uploading my series over there for all of those who are dealing with baby mama drama. For all of y'all who are dealing with co-parenting issues, that will be the channel in which you would need to subscribe. So anyway, y'all, I want to thank y'all for hanging out in the chat. Thank y'all for putting in all y'all input. Mocha, will you ever reach out to all these business as always? Yes, I actually like her. I actually like her. I'm definitely going to see if she has a new channel. I've seen a lot of her old classic videos, which still have a lot of informative information. But I like a lot of the philosophies that she shares. A lot of women don't care for her, but I like her. I like a lot of her content. It's raw and it's real, and it's a lot of women, who have this mammy syndrome where they can't stand to see other black women correct other black women. They cannot stand it. But I actually think it's a blessing in a sense, especially when you have older women who have been there and done that. There's nothing wrong with us learning from women who have experienced and who have already traveled that road. But the way the black community is now, if you listen to women who speak on this type of truth, you're a mammy. If you're a man listening to men who give content about women, you're a simp. So it's like, as black men and black women, every time we try to grow and we try to learn things from another element, we get ridiculed for it. You either gonna be a simp or you're gonna be a mammy. So it's like, as long as you're doing what's best for you and you're actually growing, you're maturing, and you're learning from it, you have to learn within your own rate. Because I'm telling you that the black YouTube sector is going to have you lost. People are going to tell you a mammy. You being a mammy, are you simping? Are you being a dick rider? Or you caping, you cupcaking for these women. It's so many people in the black YouTube sector. They're trying to create division amongst black men and black women. And what's up, Priest Brooklyn? And this is the reason why a lot of us, we're not growing. We think we're growing, but if you want to be stuck in your own philosophies, if you want to be stuck in your beliefs, you're comfortable with hating black women, or you're comfortable with hating black men, you want to be stuck in that box of hate. All you're doing is you're holding yourself back from growing, and you're holding yourself back from being blessed, because despite of what we try to tarnish one another, as much as we try to drag one another, what we're not understanding is we're also missing out on the blessings that we could bring to one another, because we're listening to other people that is tainting how we perceive each other. They're trying to pollute the way black men perceive black women. What's up, Nurly? And the way black women perceive black men. You have a lot, and both are guilty. Both are guilty. Black men and black women both are guilty for promoting hate within our race. We both are guilty of it, and you have to make the individual choice. You have to find your own self. You got to do your own research. You have to do some soul searching, because I'm telling you, the black YouTube sector is definitely leading our people to destruction. And I can't stress this more than enough. It's nothing but the blind leading the blind. When I sit up here and hear black men drag and talk trash about black women, and you're applying it to all black women, you're not applying it to the trifling black women. You're not applying it to the ignorant. You're putting all black women in the same box. Or you have black women out here that's dragging all black men and saying all black men are worthless, all black men are scums, all black men are dusties. That is not true. There are black men out here who are not dusty material. They're out here working their ass off. They provide, and they taking care of their wives. They're taking care of their children. They own their businesses, and they got black wives. They're not just building with women of non-black women. It's just too much generalization, and it's just too much stereotyping in the black YouTube sector. And this is the reason why you really have to have your own mind. You have to have your own mind, because the black YouTube sector is leading people to destruction. And guess what? It's only going to continue to get worse. It's not going to get better. They're going to keep promoting black male bashing. They're going to keep promoting black female fuckery. They're living for that. They are sleeping and drinking that, because preaching that type of content is how they are building their brand. That is how they are building their views. That's how they're earning clout. The black YouTube sector has become one of the most toxic black spaces. It has become straight up toxic. It's become toxic. Exactly, Caramel. It's a lot of cyber bullying, and both are guilty. Black women, black female content creators are doing it, and so are black male content creators. We only want to point out who's doing it the most when really both are guilty. It is the whole black YouTube sector as a whole. Soon as a black woman falls from grace and messes up, these black men cannot wait to go live so they could just drag this black woman to prove their point, to prove their narratives that black women ain't shit. And it's no different with these black men out here. I mean, these black women out here who can't wait for a black man to fail, can't wait for a black man to not succeed, especially when it's with a woman of non-color, so they can make it new material and make a mockery out of it. This is what black people do. We build off of destroying one another. That is what we do. And as much as these male content creators want to talk about what black women do to destroy black men, when are we going to talk about how black men are destroying other black men? When are we going to talk about that? When are we going to talk about how non-successful black men are trying to destroy successful black men? Successful black man cannot step outside his 2022 vehicle without this thug Negro who don't have a job, who don't have any ambition. This would be the same fool that'll rob him. Nobody wants to talk about that. We don't want to talk about the black on black violence. Oh no, we don't want to talk about that. That doesn't bring us enough views. That doesn't bring us enough super chats. That doesn't bring us enough donations. And it's sad, but that is the direction we are going. And if you are listening to this type of stuff and you're supporting it, then guess what? You are just as toxic as the content creators that you tithe into. Because if it's not healthy for your spirit, you're not even going to entertain that. I realize certain places, in order for me to grow as a woman, certain places I cannot be. Certain things I cannot listen to. If I'm a woman who's one day seeking for marriage, I'm not going to be around other women who have already given up on marriage. If I'm a black man and I know in my heart I want to marry a black queen one day, I want to be with a black woman, I want to build with a black woman, I can't sit around other niggas who have already given up on black women. I cannot do it. You cannot sit around people that are going to taint something that you have the desire to do. Just because it didn't work out for this black woman, that don't mean the same thing is going to happen for you. Just because this didn't work out for this black man, that don't mean it's not going to be the same thing for you. Your destiny is not tied to other people's examples. Nope, I haven't. Is it trap music link? It's just too much toxicness. And about you cannot go somewhere. You cannot go somewhere without black bashing. It has become a trend. Black bashing has taken over the black YouTube sector. I cannot go in the space without either black women getting disrespected or without black men getting disrespected. It is everywhere. It's the black bashing has started outspreading more than COVID-19. It has gotten ridiculous. It's old. It's tiresome. I cannot do it. That's why sometimes I detox from YouTube, or I detox. Matter of fact, I have another separate channel. It's not even a channel where I do any content on. It's a channel in which I am not subscribed to nobody in the black sector, because sometimes I gotta escape from this toxicness. It is not healthy for me. I can't listen to black men disrespect other black women and black men day in and day out. And it's got to the point, it's not just black men disrespecting black women and black women disrespecting black men. You know how many times I went in spaces and I'm hearing black men yell and scream at other black men? You got black men that are acting just as messy as the black women they complaining about. I'm listening to black men call other black men bitch ass nigga and all these other degrading things. Things that our ancestors fought hard to pay the price so we wouldn't have to be called those names anymore. I see it all the time. I don't just see black men. I've seen so many black women. I'm not even going to say any names. I've seen black women in these black YouTube sectors just drag each other, air each other's dirty laundry. One thing about these black women, when they get mad with each other, baby, oh, baby, they tell it all, honey. I know half of these helpers. I know half of their business, and I don't even talk to none of these on YouTube. I know all their business because when black women get angry with each other, they really try to destroy each other. And that's really the black community as a whole. When a black man gets mad with another black man, he tries to destroy him. We try to destroy each other. It's one thing to go back and forth and we may talk shit or we may cause a little slander, but it's too many blacks that try to destroy other blacks. Y'all doxing each other channels, y'all flagging each other's channels. It is just terrible. That is why I don't try to get close to nobody in these YouTube streets, because most of these people that are beefing with each other, most of them, they were friends at one point in time. They did content together. They did live streams together. They was friends. Everybody that's beefing on YouTube, they was friends. Once upon a time. Exactly, love, you add the unsub from a lot of people. I can't sit up here and listen to grown black women just drag grown black women. Yeah, that bitch, she thinks she's something. She up here sucking this so and so and so. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it grieves my spirit to just hear black women just talk to other black women like we trash. And this is the reason why black men outside of us don't respect us, because we don't respect each other, and vice versa. And these men in the YouTube, they ain't no better. These black men in the YouTube sector, they ain't no better. They acting like little boys in high school, talking about each other's Johnson. When did men start talking about other men dick? Where they do that at? Y'all measuring each other's Johnsons? I'm hearing other men talk about other men penises. What y'all breaking too many goddamn rules in this manosphere, whatever the hell y'all call it. Y'all talking about each other dick size. Y'all pocket patrolling each other, calling each other broke, calling each other lames. Well, just because another man has enough sense not to show off all of his money and he's not sporting and flossing and flexing everything he got, that don't make him broke. Just because you got a man doing goddamn content from his brand new car, that don't mean this nigga balling like that. He could be renting that car. He probably got his baby mama to get rapid refund. A lot of these dudes be on here fake flexing, trying to improve, trying to outstunt your other brothers, trying to outflex other black men. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Grown men talking about each other penis. I'm like, no, he did not. What's your dick size? Who asks another man what's his dick size? Women, we don't ask about each other's vagina. Girl, how deep your vagina is, girl? Do you got the kind of lips who fold back, or do your lips kind of blossom like a flower? Women, we don't ask each other about each other's vaginas. You got content creators up here with hidden agendas. They're trying to promote an agenda. And because y'all looking at the numbers, y'all not catching on. Y'all blinded because you're looking at the numbers. You're looking at the popularity that person is doing. Not even understanding that heading you to destruction. But guess what? Satan had a lot of followers too. Hitler had a lot of followers too. Jim Jones had a lot of followers too. Look where they led them at. Be careful following the crowd. Because a lot of people is leading people to hell. A lot of people leading people to hell. And it's just in a matter of time, God is allowing people to be built up for a certain reason. He's allowing people to climb for a certain reason. A lot of these people done signed a deal with the devil. They done already sold their soul. That's the only reason why they sitting as high as they sitting. But when a contract expires, when the enemy, when Lucifer himself has gotten them to fulfill the deal, when Lucifer has gotten them to adopt enough followers to tie them to these satanic content creators, once he has done his job, he's going to bring them to ruin. And y'all will see that in due time. But only those who are woke understand where I'm coming from. You not woke, nothing I say to you is going to make sense. So a lot of people, you don't get that successful. Your views don't climb that high for nothing. You don't become successful overnight when it's other people who've been grinding for years in this YouTube game. It's been people saying the same stuff for years. Their channel didn't get that high that fast. Let me tell you something. Satan is pushing and accelerating a lot of these content creators, because when he has gotten them to fulfill his dirty deeds, he's going to drop them when he least expected. The bigger to the top, the harder to drop. Be careful getting big. There's a lot that comes with our positions. Yes, it comes with a lot of money. Yes, it comes with a lot of views. Yes, it comes with a lot of popularity. But it comes with a lot of demonic forces that's going to come up against you. And when you least expect it, that is when Satan going to step in and do his attack. But that's what he does. Satan gives you everything the heart desires. He gives you all the views. He gives you all the money to where you start feeling powerful. Where you start feeling invincible. Now you feel you can say what you want to say. Now you feel you can do what you want to do, because now you have reached that plateau. But that's what Satan does. The Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy. He builds you up just so he could take you back down. But you know what? We gonna save that for another time, because they ain't ready for that. Exactly, Priest Brooklyn. They ain't ready for that. They want to keep being hibernated. We're going to let them keep sleeping. Keep sleeping, thinking these content creators ain't leading you to hell. They ain't leading you to destruction, because they are. But we're going to say that for another topic. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to shut it down. Thank y'all for hanging out. Don't forget to hit that like button before y'all exit. It is your girl, your diva, and knowledge. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe. Lady Mocha, remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth and break you off a slice of knowledge. Y'all be blessed. Take care.